Hello everybody and welcome to the Real Housewives Edit. My name is Elle and I am here to talk about the two loves of my life, editing and housewives. Oh my gosh, you guys, we have hit 1,000 subscribers. I know there are YouTube channels out there with millions of subscribers, so maybe that's not that big of a deal to you, but to me, I am telling you, when I started this channel, I was literally like, it's going to be me and like 50 other people. And I've told you guys that before, but it's really true. I did this really as a side hobby, just to really get out something that I'm so passionate about. I absolutely love hearing your opinions, so please keep your comments coming. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for subscribing, liking, all of the things that YouTube likes. I really appreciate it, you guys. Today, we are going to do something very special. We are going to break down the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City trailer. Two trailers just dropped this week, the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and the Real Housewives of Potomac. I love Real Housewives of Potomac. It is my favorite city. I also love Salt Lake City, but I do think that the trailer for Potomac was so much better. Trailer editing is so fascinating to me. When I worked at Sony in post-production for films, trailer editing was always in a whole separate building. It's a totally different set of skills. It is an art form. The trailer editors that I knew were like a different species. They are really trying to show you what's going to be happening with each character's storyline and kind of what's going on as a storyline as a whole in under 3 minutes, which is a crazy feat. They always do such a good job. But I will say there are some clues from an editing perspective that can tell you, do they really have a great season or not? So let's jump right into this trailer.
Dear Lord, please protect us.
Retaliation is a bitch. Go find yourself another Heather Gay.
Okay, what they do at the very beginning is they do what we call establishing shots, establishing our location, where we are, where we're going to be. This may not feel very important to you. You might just be like, okay, great, some mountains and some churches. But what it does is it gets you in a mood. It gives your audience an overall perception of like, what is this show going to feel when I put it on? So we have snow, we have a church, we have statues. It's all very cold, haunting a little bit. And then on top of that, we have the music. We have a haunting, low, swelling song with this woman's voice. It's all setting the tone for suspense, drama, and just like what is about to go down. Then they have Lisa Barlow.
Retaliation is a bitch.
It's almost like they're doing like a line that's supposed to encapsulate the character for the season. So let's keep watching and see what else they say.
Go find yourself another Heather Gay. I'm out.
Okay, we as an audience are supposed to get the feel like, oh wow, like Heather is like stepping back from something, like Heather's upset, right? So they're establishing the characters' storylines just with these one little lines. And also you get these shots of them, Heather looking kind of upset, kind of in the cold. Everything is very cold, dark, haunting, suspenseful, almost like scary movie feel.
I am done being everyone's pawn.
If you're talking about everyone else, fair game. I am innocent.
Okay, so of course they go through Meredith and they go through Jen with the big line.
I am innocent.
Also, just from a, purely technical side, to add a little drama and flair to the edits, they scale the faces closer to us. They bring down the opacity, which makes them see-through, if you will. Just little tricks to make it feel more dramatic.
We are pulling at a thread on a sweater. This is not the end. This is the beginning.
This season on The Real Housewives.
Okay, so then they end kind of all those little lines that are kind of setting up the, the characters for the season with Heather taking off her glasses and you can see her black eye. That is supposed to be a very dramatic moment for us. They even have a big sound effect, this huge contrast from the silence that came right before it. We as an audience are supposed to be like, whoa, drama. I don't know about you guys, it just didn't land in the same way that maybe they expected it to land. Personally, when I saw it, I was like, did she fall skiing? My first impression wasn't like she got hit by one of the ladies, but I think that's kind of what they were trying to go for, and also that is like a big dramatic plot point in the season. This, to be honest with you, worried me a little bit about the season. I was like, if this is the dramatic moment that they're pulling for after the intro that is supposed to sort of like hook us to watch the rest of this trailer. That's always sort of something that I will look out for in trailers. They try to make a moment more dramatic than I personally think it is. I'm like, oh gosh, we're gonna be doing a lot of putting it on or trying to build a lot on something that isn't there.
Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Where's the Met Gala? Pay that rent! Pay that rent!
Please do not put your foot near my taint.
Opening ceremonies, bitches!
What are you thinking about with college?
Fudge.
Okay, so what they did there was they had a little fun montage. They definitely want to show it's not all just going to be drama and Heather Gay having a black eye, you guys. It's also going to be them twerking and skiing and falling and in the bathtub. We can be done with bathtub scenes, right? They're about to highlight all of the main storylines for each housewife. So let's watch how they go through these.
Fudge college, honestly. There's no need for it.
That's not how it works, Jack.
Okay, so we know that one of Lisa's main storylines is going to be her son not wanting to go to college. Let's keep going.
The book. What's going on with that? It ruined any chance I had of my family being supportive.
You know how I always tell you that I don't remember details of my childhood? I was in a very abusive situation.
Okay, so Heather's storyline is going to be unveiling her book, but then also realizing that her family is not supportive of that, so there's going to be a push-pull with the book reveal. And then Whitney's storyline is going to be that she's remembering part of her childhood that's obviously very traumatizing to her.
You?
Yeah.
What can you and I do more together? It feels off.
I just heard that she was doing favors to help get places to pick up Vita tequila.
Okay, so now we know a little bit more. Lisa is having trouble in the husband department, and then Meredith is talking about it like she's maybe doing some stuff she shouldn't be doing to get her business and brand off the ground.
Who repeated that rumor, you or me?
You told me she performed sexual favors.
Are you crazy?
I had been played.
By who? Me?
Oh, okay, so now we have a storyline brewing of Meredith versus Whitney, although in that first little bit it looked like Meredith was spilling tea to Whitney. As we know, Whitney's gonna go and just tell everyone about it. That's apparently what happened, and now Meredith's upset with it, so we have a beef between them.
I got played by Stuart Smith. I would not be in this thing at all if it wasn't for Stuart.
Someone that I know was working for Jen, and now he's an informant.
Okay, so then we get to what maybe I'm the most interested in, which is the Jen Shah stuff. And she says something that I've actually never heard her say in social media or any of the other places, that she kind of blames what's gone on with her on Stuart. And then there's a clip of this person that we don't know talking to Whitney saying, you know, she knows someone who worked for them and it was bad news, whatever.
Have either of you ever asked Jen if she's guilty of any of these charges?
Okay, so then they have them sitting around. So what they're trying to build up is obviously this Jen storyline. So all the other little storylines got like maybe 1 or 2 clips, but this Jen one now, I think we're on clip 4. They now have to establish that we're somewhere else. So they did those establishing shots of New York. They showed the sign of the Brooklyn Bridge, and now they're showing.
Any comment at all?
Are you gonna go to jail for 11 years?
Don't get in my face. If I were you, I'd be real nice right now, especially if you want some money on your books.
So that that line was really tough for me. Like, wow, she went hard. I want to see what led her to doing that. The big thing that I saw was Jen's reaction to that. That was some like real scary Jen reaction stuff, but she like had nothing to say back. They showed kind of the gritty footage of her leaving the courthouse, and then they showed these publications showing that she pled guilty. And just not a minute earlier, she was saying,
I am innocent.
they're obviously showing that the storyline of this actual season is going to be that Jen's going to start the season out saying, it wasn't me, it wasn't me, it was Stuart, and then actually it was me.
Heather, you look like somebody locked you.
And so we have this music coming in, which is very Salt Lake City. It's a very gothic sound, haunting sound, like war is about to start. It's very hard-hitting, even though they were showing some established scenes of a beach. Obviously, they're going to be going somewhere tropical as their cast trip, but the music is still hard. Now we're back to Heather Gay revealing her black eye.
Somebody locked you.
Well, maybe somebody did. stop being a condescending, superior bitch.
You show up for me 100%.
Okay, so this is where I felt like for me, I got a little bit off the rails in terms of my interests. So again, we're back to Heather Gay's black eye. Someone says, you know, did someone hit you or whatever? And she says, maybe they did. And now we're doing sort of these flashes to her getting into it with each of the cast members, getting into it with Meredith, getting into it with Jen.
I'm sick of lies. That's what I'm sick of. That's a factor for me.
So getting into it with Whitney, getting into it with Lisa. I think what we as an audience are supposed to kind of feel is like, who hit Heather? And then she puts the sunglasses on and then we get this big stinger, this big loud sound. And it's supposed to give us that feeling of like, oh my gosh, who did this? What is possibly going on? Everything's unraveling. Someone's going to jail. Whitney and Heather are fighting. Like, all this stuff is going down. It's imploding. For me personally, it didn't quite have the effect maybe that they wanted it to have. Now, I'm not saying I'm not going to be glued to my TV because you guys know I am. I'm also not in any way saying that this trailer isn't great. It's just interesting that they kind of chose to hang a lot of the drama on this black eye. It just didn't grip me quite the same way when it got to there. I wasn't like, my jaw wasn't on the floor. And I think that's sort of what they wanted people to feel, and I didn't feel that way. But what did you guys think?
Wait, are those her shoes?
And then the last clip that they put is Jen throwing some shoes overboard. Jen is being Jen. Leave a comment below and let me know what you guys think and what this trailer did for you. If it got you excited, if you felt like there were things missing, if you're excited about the storylines that are coming up just by evidenced in this trailer. Now, one thing I do want to say about your comments is let's please keep our comments classy. This means we don't talk about people's looks, we don't talk about their kids, we don't say we hate them, we don't say we want them fired. We are passive aggressive, not aggressive. We are shady, we are not mean. For instance, instead of saying, I want her to be fired, try to write something more like, a cast shakeup is in order. Or if you want to make fun of someone's plastic surgery, just say, I love your channel. I'm not saying don't have your opinions or don't write your opinions, but hateful speech or anything of that, it's just not gonna be tolerated and I'm just going to delete it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please tune in tomorrow because I'm going to be releasing my breakdown of the Real Housewives of Potomac trailer and why I thought it was so much better than this one. Until next time.
Joggers. Excuse me? Joggers.